We got a major Padres trade update to get to. MLB insiders are once again linking the Friars to the Red Sox. Things, though, seem to have changed, I think, in the Padres' favor. Let's go ahead and talk about it. What's going on, everybody? Christian Pedersen back with another episode of Padres Digest. Thank you very much for tuning into the show where I, just a random dude on the internet, give you updates, reaction, takes, some right, some wrong. Who knows? Who cares? Hit the subscribe button if you want. If not, let's talk some baseball. Guy that I showed you at the beginning, Jarren Duran there. He is a Red Sox. This is not the first video that we have talked about trading for Jarren Duran this season. This is not the only time that the Padres have talked about trading for someone this season. Currently, if you look at the breakdown, I think kind of communally where everybody can agree that the Padres are failing is left field, shortstop, and then catcher. Catcher always with a little asterisk because of the defensive. Some guys work with the staff, whatever, yada, yada, yada. But in terms of the offensive production, in the left field and shortstop position, the Padres are being brought down entirely across the board to a level where I think it's clear that if we want to be in the conversation, not just for being in the playoffs, but for making a deep playoff run, the Padres need some form of an upgrade. Now, we've talked internally, we've talked externally. Jarren Duran was one target that came up a couple of weeks ago as the Padres were first starting through this cycle, but have been recently relinked with several MLB insiders talking about them, including some of the more reputable sources. And I think that, look, it is all great news. Here are the numbers for Jarren Duran, if you are wondering why is Christian so hype about this. What is not shown in this little brief stat breakdown here is his steals. He is fast, which makes him both a plus on the defensive side and a plus on the base paths. He is somebody who I think the Padres very much benefit from anything and everything they can get out of this guy in terms of an upgrade is fantastic. Let's talk about where he's at contract-wise. You see he has a club option for next year, so he's not like exactly a rental player, but I think that this is very close to being a rental player as you can get without it being somebody who's on the last 4.5 months of their contract. What has changed from the last time we have spoken is that the Red Sox have called up Roman Anthony, baseball's top prospect, and somebody who was seen as not having a shot with the club because of a crowded but successful outfield DH situation. He is now there. This makes the process for the Red Sox of trading a player, I think, a little bit both more relevant, timely, and doable because Roman Anthony, now no longer a hypothetical for them, he is somebody who has already looked good in his first couple of games, and I think the Red Sox really have a vested interest in, let's get him out there. He's the superstar of next year. So someone who has this deal becomes very tradable, but also, I think, attainable at a price that is not awful. If you run down the list, like I said, of the San Diego Padres major leaguers, we're very clearly out of guys who are crazy good, so that we can obviously put them in left, and we don't have a depth of anybody to deal. So I do think that for the Padres, this is most likely a minor league and cash international combo-y, draft picky. It's something like that package-laden deal. I'm sure there is a major league arm to include because teams can always say yes to more pitching, whether that's someone at the back end of the rotation like a Kolek or a Vasquez or a Waldron, or if that's somebody out of the bullpen. Obviously, you're not going to trade Suarez, but Matsui, a mediocre minor leaguer or two and some cash considerations, something like that. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think specifically could be a good deal. Reminder, here are the numbers right now for Duran minus the steals. He is a very, very fast guy. Let me get you steals on his last 3 seasons. I will filibuster here for a second. 24, 34, and then so far this season, 14. And that's not the rebirth of Ricky Henderson, but that's also very clearly a guy who once you get him on, can move into scoring position and be if him getting a single extends it to second, someone hits a ball into the light part of the outfield, like that's a run that maybe Hayward wasn't going to get, even if Hayward got his batting up average up to this point. And maybe I'm beating a dead horse there by taking a Jason Hayward shot, but you know what I'm saying. I'm saying that what the Padres have right now just simply isn't up to snuff compared to what Jarren Duran can get. And that's where I'm like, if the Padres have a chance now to go ahead and add this guy, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want them to go ahead and get a dude? But of all the dudes, this guy seems to be the best in my take. And again, drop a comment. Let me know what you think in terms of all the available trade deals. He seems to be the best of, like, he's up here in terms of talent and the price is kind of here. Like, there's this whole ratio of what is really worth sacrificing short-term, long. Like, there's a lot of the calculus and mathematics that go into it, but Duran seems like he's right in that sweet spot of good enough to make a large impact on the Padres, but not pricey enough to be someone where we've got to really mortgage too much of if any of the future. I think the Red Sox, like I said, with Roman Anthony now, that's the big update, is now that he is out there, the major league sources around the insider community seem to think that the Padres have been back at the Red Sox with some more seriousness trying to acquire this guy. Now, Preller always plays these really close to the heart, and so I don't have a source to say, well, Preller offered X, Y, or Z. So again, this is all just communal speculation where we're just kind of trying to figure it out. But I think that Roman Anthony, give him 2 weeks, and unless he absolutely flails out, you really start the clock on the Red Sox being like, all right, between now and the deadline, let's make this happen for this guy. Let's make a little boost for our team. No time like the present. And that's where I'm saying that the Padres now have a chance to go out and really acquire a guy. Reminder, this is where the contract is at. So not a ton of cash on the books for this year. Padres can eat it all, take it up, get them off their books. The club option for next year, like, there's a chance that we can retain this guy if he comes in. If we make a World Series run, I'm sure all the vibes will be right. But also, again, this is somebody that I think a lot of teams who would be trading for this guy would probably be assuming that club option deal would more likely be a restructuring, re-signing, renegotiating in the offseason to find something more long-term, or agree mutually that it's not going to work out. So let's hope that this is all good news for the San Diego Padres, that Roman Anthony, what's good for them is good for us. If he can start hitting, Padres, I think, have a great shot here at acquiring somebody right now who can be an immediate impact player at the major league level, be a really just perfect fit. Like, he does not have a downside. This is not a guy who he cranks out home runs, has the slugging percentage, and then there's defensive issues or something. Like, this is a guy who we can put the left field position debate to rest, spend any remaining assets that we have on either trying to figure out, are we moving on from Xander, or are we getting a catcher, or are we doing something in the bullpen? Like, all those, though, are going to be other videos. So that's where I said hit the subscribe button if you want to get all sorts of Padres content delivered daily to your feed. Until next time, as always, keep the faith, Padres fans. We'll talk to you soon.